Hello and welcome to this two-part video. Part one, I will be watching Olivia Rodrigo's music video for The Cure for the first time. And for part two, I will go back to specific scenes to break down the imagery, analyze, overanalyze a bit more. Just in case you're new, my name is Vicky. I'm a therapist who loves talking about pop music. I have already heard the full album, music and lyrics. I reacted to it. I will link that in the description below just in case you missed it. I'm excited for this music video. Let's get into it. She writing in blood.
All the pretty girls in the foreground of my mind.
Operating room, Olivia Rodrigo.
Moving the line. I thought I found the antidote this time. I thought I found the antidote this time. All the nights I spent fighting bad thoughts in my room. So
if only it was this simple.
On the moon. I thought I found the antidote with you. I thought I found the antidote with you.
She's searching.
But my head is full of poison and my heart is full of doubt. I got toxins in my bloodstream. You tried hard to suck them out, and it feels like medication, and it's good for me, I'm sure, but it don't matter how your love feels anymore.
It's not working.
It'll never be the cure. It'll never be the cure. I used to play a game in my head when I date a guy. Tally up the girls that he fucked till I start to cry.
With thread.
Thought I found the antidote this time. I thought I found the antidote this time. But I'm unravel, 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 I'm unravel. And my head is full of poison and my heart is full of doubt. I got toxins in my bloodstream. You tried hard to suck them out, and it feels like medication, and it's good for me, I'm sure, but it don't matter how your love feels anymore. It'll never be the cure. It'll never be the cure. Oh, 'cause baby, I'm unravel. I'm unravel. I'm unravel. I'm unravel. I'm unravel. Why can't you come stitch me up? Why can't you ever be enough? Why can't you come stitch me up? Why can't you ever be
Yes!
Because my head is full of poison and my heart is full of doubt. I got toxins in my bloodstream. You tried so hard to suck out, and it feels like medication, and it's good for me, I'm sure, but it don't matter how your love feels anymore. It'll never be the cure.
My own blood will be the cure. Of course.
It'll never be the cure.
I didn't expect this at the end, but let's see how we got here. Really cool way to bring together two metaphors that are used throughout the album, the thread metaphor and the blood metaphor. This sort of thread like red stuff is the blood. And because she has this sense of something is off in the blood, in my internal threads, something doesn't feel right. She's looking, she's actively searching for the cure. Also, just a moment for that line, the pretty girls in my mind. Keep moving that line. The goalpost keeps changing. The standard keeps getting higher. And we can tell ourselves that, oh, it's the pretty girls doing that. But it's the pretty girls in our mind. It's voices that we have internalized and standards that we're holding ourselves to, again pointing inward. It's our blood, it's our internal threads that are creating the issues. And we fall into this trap of, I'm going to look externally to me, I'm going to try to find this antidote, this potion that I can cure my internal stuff with. I love that there are multiple hearts and sort of multiple little potions around. Really, that sense of we do try again and again, sometimes multiple ways to find the antidotes, like relationship after relationship, like this sort of this sense of I'm experimenting, I'm trialing and erroring. You have to sort of live, you have to experience and experiment in those ways in order to learn what works, what doesn't work. In this case, this medication she's putting into the heart not only doesn't help the heart, it actively makes it worse. It kind of loses its blood, it loses its color, it falls flat. Her face here while she's singing really captures that desperation to find the cure, to find the antidote. It's good for me, I'm sure that's why I'm putting it into the heart, but again, it doesn't help. This just captures that realization. I've tried in many different ways to apply different antidotes. The conclusion, the results of the experiment are it's not the cure. So it begs the question, what is the cure? So cool that she's using the red thread, her own blood. It's her own mental process that's doing this tallying that is in turn like coming back to bite her. It's this thought spiral that pricks her, that causes her pain in a sense. Is this because the guy has no brain? Maggots for brains in there? Light just goes straight through. Maybe in a way it's its own sort of failed test because the light is sort of trying to see in there, but if there's sort of nothing in there or the light just ends up passing through, it's like you can't find the issue, you can't work on the cure. Honestly, I like the maggots for brains explanation more. I love this imagery. Right after she's been tallying with her own thread, we see that the thread is coming from her. It's her mind, her vulnerabilities, our own mind, our own vulnerabilities. It's our own internal thread that ends up sewing, creating our own self-sabotage sometimes. It's really powerful that the nurse, who is often the one who gives, who cares, often silently giving and caring, because doctors are the ones who are seen, named, given credit to oftentimes, and to see the nurse who gives so much be the one with the illness, be the one who needs to be cared for. There's a powerful acknowledgement in that, like we all have an internal nurse and also an internal patient. You know, we are all capable of caring and we all need to be cared for.
And it feels like medication, and it's good for me.
Something about this shape, it's like the threads that hold us back in a way. Her face captures the pain of being unraveled. Of course, that's scary to admit, to watch happening, but I do stand by what I said in my album reaction, that sometimes we need to be unraveled. We need to acknowledge our unraveledness so that we can take those threads, build something new, sew something new, move forward with that. So yes, painful process, not fun, but perhaps necessary. She sings, "Why can't you come stitch me up?" And to me, visually, this kind of shows why. It's never going to be another person's thread that revives your heart. It needs to be your internal process, your internal changes. But even after this revival of the hearts, you can still sense her distress. She's just not quite satisfied. I wonder if she even like throws her guitar on the floor. I wonder if this represents the grief that comes with the realizations in this song, because to realize that another person will never be the cure is to grieve that idea, that hope that someone else will be the cure. There's a process of letting go of the image that you had hoped would happen, which was that syringe at the beginning, you stick it into your heart, it heals you. You have to give up on that as an experiment. And that's a really distressing process, potentially, depending on how much weight you've put on that hope. She's tearing down the walls. Just like being unraveled can be really painful, to tear down the walls of your construction in your mind, your idea, your fantasy of how it was going to go, of how it was supposed to feel. You do need to tear it down. You need to let go of that idea in order to move forward. As she sits in this bed, she kind of realizes, oh, like this isn't the hospital that I imagined. I imagined that I would walk into this hospital and find an antidote in another person. Didn't think that I would have to sit here and pour my own heart and energy and threads into reviving these versions of me, these parts of myself, these past experiences. I sort of see her laying in this bed, having found the cure, in a sense, having realized that it needs to come from within, perhaps even having put in the effort to do that work, which can be very psychologically tiring, and just kind of feeling disillusioned with it all. Maybe she really did want that other person to be the cure. She didn't want to sit here, have to cure her own hearts, and yet that's where we are. And that's disappointing, and that's fair, that's fair. You're allowed to be disappointed that the other person can't be the cure. She's tearing down the whole city. Yeah, really interesting that she completely destroys the whole fantasy at the end, and we're brought back to this very realistic setup. Yeah, I think this is part of the grieving process. Your frustration with having to let go of how you thought it was going to be in favor for a more realistic, less colorful, but more real reality. There's a very sharp transition from the sort of fantasy, colorful, beautiful world that she was in the relationship, with this sort of hope of the play by play of this is how it's going to go. I'm going to try all the potions and I'm going to revive my hearts. But it ends with the realization that, nope, I have to draw the resources from within. And that's an absolute, it's a crashing down from the ideal to the real. And it's really, really painful, but it is mature and it is real. It's like, what kind of relationship do you want? Do you want a perfect one? Or do you want a real one? Do you want to live in a fantasy, or do you want to live in reality? There does come a point where you kind of have to decide. It's also really powerful because once you let go of being frustrated with the other person for not being the cure, then the next step is kind of be frustrated with yourself for not being the cure. I mean, a healthy amount of frustration can be okay. It can actually propel you forward, like a certain degree of, okay, come on, like I've got to address my own stuff. It will always be easier to externalize the problem, say that it's over there, it's the other person, and it will always be harder to take accountability. But again, what do you want? Do you want to live in a fantasy that it's always everybody else's problem and everybody else is to blame? Or do you want to live in reality and acknowledge that you have at least a small part to play in what you find challenging? If you've accepted, okay, the cure is not outside of me, the cure is within me, but you're kind of wondering, what does that even mean? You need to watch my analysis of the song Purple. If I haven't posted it yet, it will be out within a week. I'm about to go film it right now. I'll be wearing the same outfit. When I have posted it, I will link it right up here, so definitely watch that next.